What's up, guys? It's Benny. If there's one thing that President Trump has been extremely consistent on is that he has said again and again and again that he's going to be pardoning January 6th political prisoners on his first day in office. Some of his aides have said there may be thousands of pardons for January 6th political prisoners, and Donald Trump has followed up that promise multiple times in the lead up to him taking the oath of office in just a few hours from now.
On your first day of office, you're going to pardon January 6th defendants. Are you planning to pardon those who were charged with violent offenses?
Well, we're looking at it, and we have other people in there. And as you see, I guess 24 or 28 people came now from the FBI. That came out very quietly. Nobody reported it, but they had people in some form related to the FBI. They had 4 or 5 people that were strongly related to the FBI. We have to find out about that. We have to find out about Hezbollah. We have to find out about who exactly was in that whole thing, because people that did some bad things were not prosecuted. You know, I see it all the time, and you see it too. People that were doing some bad things weren't prosecuted, and people that didn't even walk into the building are in jail right now. So we'll be looking at the whole thing, but I'll be making major pardons, yes.
Trump says he's going to be making lots of pardons. Now, he said this before at rallies and debates. He said this before in multiple massive interviews all across media and social media. But what he says here in this specific clip from a couple days ago during a question and answer at Mar-a-Lago was that he's going to be looking at the Fedsurrection. He's going to be flipping the narrative on the feds, who are the ones that actually precipitated January 6th. And he's going to be hunting down and finding out exactly what's going on that day. Like, who are some of the major actors on that day who engaged in unlawful activity? Who was operating them? This was a fraud. This was clearly a hoax on the American people and on my supporters. Now, President Trump joined Dan Bongino's radio show today and went a step further than that even. President Trump, on Dan Bongino's radio show, says he's determined to expose the truth about January 6th and the Fedsurrection. Find out who the January 6th pipe bomber is, identify the mysterious scaffolding man, and uncover the real story behind Ray Epps. The clip right here, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa. Here we go.
I believe that is the case. Can we get an answer between you, Pam Bondi, and hopefully Kash Patel on who this person is and have the FBI open the books? Because I believe this is a huge scandal and a massive cover-up.
I think we will, and I think we're going to find out about Ray Epps, and I think we're going to find out about Scaffold Man. You know who Scaffold Man is, right?
Yeah.
The guy who's screaming to everybody, go into the building, go into the building. We're going to find out who Scaffold Man is, and we're going to find out some other things. And I think you're going to be very happy with what I do with respect. I call them the J6 hostages because I consider them hostages. You know, they did a beautiful song, and they asked would I do the words, not the singing, the words. And I did. That song went to #1 for so long. It was beating out Taylor Swift. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but that's okay. And everybody else, beating them all out for a long time. And it was pretty amazing.
Donald Trump saying that he's going to look into Ray Epps specifically. Scaffold Man, if you don't know, is this individual right here.
We're in! Come on! We gotta fill up the Capitol! Come on! Come now! Come now! We need help! We're gonna fill up the Capitol! They got in! Come on!
Move forward!
Oh. Extremely authentic behavior. Move forward, climb up, get into the wall, get into the Capitol, get into those bleachers. Man, it reminds me of somebody. It reminds me of Ray Epps, in fact. This is, of course, somebody that you probably know, Ray Epps. This is huge, says Darren Beatty. Mike Benn says if this happens and Trump is not undercut by his DOJ, FBI, DHS, and DOD, who were all in on this together, it will literally change history. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Bongino saying that the J6 pipe bomber, Ray Epps, and Scaffolding Man is who we need to investigate. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Epps has still not explained to anyone why exactly he was efforting so harshly people go into the Capitol. Time and time again, Ray Epps is on camera, and as far as I can tell, the only person on camera on January 6th who said we must go into the Capitol. He said it time and time and time again.
Because you're my neighbor. Where you at?
Then he leaned in and whispered something he apparently did not want to say out loud.
We're not here to fight, man. We're here to storm. I'm not kidding. We're here to storm the Capitol. Hell yeah. All right, have a good night. Be safe. Be safe, brother.
That one moment changed what we knew about Ray Epps that night, when he whispered storm the Capitol before it had happened, and echoed the official narrative before it was broadcast across the nation.
Of supporters of President Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol building.
Thousands storming the Capitol.
This mob that stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the U.S. Capitol building.
Stormed the United States Capitol.
We ran it through forensic software that technical investigators use for analyzing audio and video to make sure we heard correctly and it had not been altered.
I'm not kidding. We're here to storm the Capitol. Hell yeah. All right, have a good night. Be safe.
And searched through hours of footage, countless news stories, Epps's FBI case documents, and his deposition before the January 6 committee to see if it had been discussed. With the exception of one writer we found on Substack, it hadn't.
Wow. It's the one piece of demonstrable, flaming evidence about January 6th that everybody just decided to never report on. The one guy that was saying time and time again, we need to go into the Capitol, we need to storm the Capitol. That's just one example of dozens of videos where Ray Epps is telling the crowd that. On the day of January 6th,
we are going to the Capitol. It's that direction. That's where our true problems lie. President Trump is done speaking. We are going to the Capitol. That's where our problems are. Okay, folks, we need your help. As soon as President Trump stops speaking, we are going to the Capitol.
This is weird as hell, guys. It's just crazy. Why would you do this? I mean, it defies all rational logic for like a normal person to just go do and yell things like this or to come up with this plan. I can tell you, as somebody who literally sat in the crowd there that day at Trump's speech, and sat in the front row at Trump's speech there, historic speech, there's not a single person, and I walked through like, there's 100,000 people there. There's not a single person that was saying, let's go into the Capitol. No one. Yet here's Scaffolding guy. Also the guy that was cutting the fences. What's going on with Scaffolding guy? The mystery man on top of the media tower that overlooked the Capitol. Who was this individual? Why did he have a bullhorn? Why has he never been charged? For nearly 90 minutes straight, he bombarded otherwise leaderless crowd below him to enter various locations throughout the Capitol. Don't just stand there, keep moving forward, he kept saying. We have the undercover audio and video, the body cams from cops that day, DC police, saying, telling people to go into the Capitol. These are the undercover cops. We know that police pushed and escorted people into the Capitol. And now Trump's saying that there are 24 to 28 different FBI informants that were there that day. How many of them broke laws? The FBI has straight up admitted that. So if the FBI is admitting to it, then there must be hundreds of undercover FBI informants. Some people did some very bad things and they weren't prosecuted. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look into Ray Epps and everything that took place. There are big answers that need, there are big questions that need some major answers. Like, how about this? I'll unite with you on one major point. There was terrorism that day. The terrorism was a person who placed fake pipe bombs outside of the RNC and DNC. The feds say that they're real. They have the person's DNA. They have all this footage of them. And yet, nothing about the pipe bomber. Lo and behold, a couple of days ago, the FBI said, no, we were really trying to find the pipe bomber. Nothing. The one J6er that I'd be happy to help the FBI, the feds, pull in, because I'd really like to know who this individual is. Nothing. But so convenient for the narrative. We can't wait to have Kash Patel back in the chair to actually answer this. He will be at the FBI. Ladies and gentlemen, we've asked Kash Patel about this before. Here's what he had to say. With the uniting of him and Donald Trump on this issue, I think we will actually get some justice and some truth. Here's Kash.
I was there in the Oval Office days before January 6th when the president executed his authority to authorize the National Guard. And we've covered that. He cannot order them. He cannot hijack the military and order them deployed domestically. After President Trump's authorization, we immediately sent the Secretary of the Army, who is responsible for the National Guard writ large, to Mayor Bowser and the Capitol Police controlled by then Speaker Pelosi, because as the governing authorities of the Washington District area, they have to make a National Guard request pursuant to a presidential authorization before the military can go ahead and deploy National Guard troops across anywhere in America.